This is Joey Kaufman and Dan Weber, USCFootball.com. First week of USC Fall Camp in the books. Ed Ogeron today, we talked to him afterwards. Defensive line was one of the concerns going into camp with the loss of Kennard, but he seemed optimistic, Dan.
Well, today is the first live goal line action. They put in a new goal line, and they, as T.J. McDonald was saying, you can't play goal line any other way than all out. And man, did the defense came after the offense big time today. We were asking Coach Orgeron, have you been sandbagging everybody about your defense? Are these guys really better than you've admitted? And he said, well, that's what a veteran coach does. You tell people maybe you're not all that good, and he likes this defense. You can tell. I mean, that was exciting watching that defense today, and you could tell the offense wasn't too thrilled about it.
One of the things he mentioned is it seemed as if there's more depth this year, and they're finally going to be able to rotate a little more on the defensive line, even with the Kennard thing. And that's been something they've talked about wanting to do the last 2 years, is they haven't rotated enough, especially on the defensive line.
I was talking to Kevin Green as he was leaving. I said, if they talk to you, and he's still holding his weight in this heat at 265, and one of the 2 or 3 strongest guys on the team. And I said, if they talk to you about playing, inside a little bit, and he said, well, not yet, but I wouldn't mind at all. Just talked to Coach Orgeron. I said, what do you think? He said, we've got some things we're going to do with some of those kids. So I think they're going to figure out ways to extend their ability. I think they're getting some real good push out of fifth-year grad student Zach Kushner, just kids like that that maybe you didn't understand. And then Antoine Woods and George Yuko were really kind of enjoying all the stuff that went on. And we haven't mentioned the brawl yet.
Yeah. But to talk about what happened there, it was Marquise, Curtis, who was in the scuffle.
Well, I think it ended up in like 2 different scuffles in 2 different sides of the field. On the side where we were, we saw the ball come bouncing loose, and unfortunately, backup quarterback Iman Say was standing there without his helmet on. At the ball bounced to him, and he got tackled from like 2 different sides, and he's like 10 yards behind the backfield. He didn't like that very much. So he kind of objected to them. And at the same time, on the other side, you saw Marquise, and I know George Yuko and Antoine Woods both were involved in it. And they said, yeah, those are our friends. And yeah, once you come through that gate, though, they're not as much your friends until you go out and leave. And I asked Marquise about it. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, we're friends. But he said, man, they really came after us today.
It was definitely one of the more fiery points of today's practice, although Lane didn't seem all too pleased with it. Said we're on the same team. Let's not have that. I guess shifting gears.
He said he expects that to be the last one like that. But I think for most people here, it probably was a kind of a valuable thing for this defense today.
Shifting gears to offense real quick, George Farmer looked as if he's starting to be close to 100%. Was out there doing more team drills than he's done all of camp thus far. How do you think he looked?
We ran some really good patterns, I thought. Really tough, one-on-one stuff into the end zone with, real strong coverage. I thought it was interesting. It almost looked like he's wearing high tops. He's got now those black ankle braces on both ankles now. He's got a whole different look about him, but I thought he looked pretty much ready to play now. I think he still is on a rehab regimen, and I think with George, they're going to make sure every day he does all the rehab exercises, all the stretching, all the things he's supposed to do. So once he got finished with that, he went in and still, and did that. But he looked an awful lot, much closer today. And I thought he looked more like a sophomore today. He looked like he really kind of understood some things about running patterns.
All right, that's Joey Kaufman, Dan Weber, USCFootball.com, Instant Analysis.